What's going on, guys? Here with you is Ani Umana, aka ISO Ani. This is all access with ISO Ani. I'm back for week 2. It's been just, even though I was in the city, it's still a lot of work that has to get done. It's reports, interviews, covering. We had a crazy weekend out this past weekend, this Mother's Day weekend with Nike EYBL. It was in Dallas. And we also had Who Want to Smoke with Buff. I had to cover a lot. I had to be in Nike a lot. I was kind of doing some working a little bit. And but I also got to see Buff's event as well. And shout out to Buff, especially this weekend. I know Nike really takes a lot of the, it's Nike. The EYBL is a big thing, but Buff had a lot of really good teams. Hate that I could only really be there for like 3 or 4 hours this weekend, but still, got it covered. Still watched a lot. Got reports, about who was playing well and stuff. So this was really good. Before we get started, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, ISO_Ani, and also subscribe to Texas Rank. Just did a really good job. We broke a player's commitment. We did his commitment video and everything like that. So go check that out. I'll tell you who that is towards the latter in the show when I talk about recruitment. And yeah, man, subscribe to us, Texas Rank, at Texas Rank, and ISO_Ani. We got a lot of content coming. Some of the clips from the show will be on my ISO_Ani and also at the All Access. So, let's get started. I was in EYBL. I got my standouts. We're going to go 15U. And these are my ISO Ani EYBL standouts from the 15U division. First off, we got the Kari Spears from Drive Nation. Brother played at Lehigh. He's a 6'2"-ish guard, long arms, skilled, gets to the rim, score with the basketball, balanced playmaking and scoring. Did a really good job using his length. I think he's going to grow some more. I think he's going to be like a big guard, and he'll always be, in my opinion, one of the upper echelon 2026 players. Could eventually be number one. Just seeing how everything goes. It's still got a long ways to go, long ways to play out. But, now we have Trent Perry, another 226 at Drive Nation. Right now, ESPN has a ranked number 12th in the country. I have him as the top 2026 player right now in the class. Really long arms, athletic as hell, finishes around the rim, defends, uses length by intercepting passes. He's getting a lot done. I thought Trent was really good, held Drive Nation with a clean record. And I think he showed why he's he's in the building, could potentially be a top 10 player nationally in that class. Could mess around and be a top 5 to 8. And we'll talk about some of the other high-level 2026s nationally when we go through these 16s and 17s. But next, we got Austin Brown from JL3. Played really well. I think he actually played up, I believe. No, he played for the 15s, did a really good job. Shot the ball very well. It's about 6'6", goes to Lufkin. I liked how he just made shots on closeout, hard closeouts, so he can put the ball on the floor and create some. I think he's a kid that, he had like some injuries going on during the season. I think we're actually starting to see him be actually healthy and closer to 100% than I have seen this since 223. Next, we got Jacob Lanier for Live On. He's out of Arkansas, like an attacking guard. About 6'3", close to 6'4". Man, Jacob was fantastic for Live On. Another kid that I like on there is Randy Livingston. Oh no, that's 16. I'm sorry, but Jacob Lanier. We'll go to 16. I'm sorry. I saw a lot of kids. I kind of get mixed up 15, 16s, but when talk about Jacob Lanier, to me, one of the best, if not the best player in Arkansas 226. I haven't seen that class thoroughly, but he's really just stands out just with his play. So far. Jalen Montanati, another kid from Mocan, heard about him a lot. Oklahoma, seen him last fall in Pangos and Buffs camp. His upcoming, where he has like the rising freshmen and 8th graders and some sophomores. And Jalen he's been fantastic. 6'7", hella skilled, can shoot the basketball, put on the floor. Doesn't like blow by anybody or anything like that, but he's just really effective. He can rise up, shoot over you. He's confident. He has a lot of swagger to him. So I'm really impressed with how Jalen has been playing so far. And then next we got Gallagher Plasadi. I'm probably saying that name wrong, and I apologize. He actually has a twin brother that plays for that Team Griffin group. They're out of Colorado. And G, I'm just gonna call him G because I don't want to keep botching his first name. But did a really good job. About 6'8", skill, can put the ball on the floor. Sometimes brought the ball, ignited breaks, but brought the ball up and made plays for others. Can really see the floor well. He's interesting. Still kind of stiff. You can tell he had a real big growth spurt and is still getting used to his body, but can shoot the ball from three. He's a capable shooter from the outside. He has good length to him, not crazy, but good length. And he's skilled and he has feel. I think guys like that at that age and that class, I'll be interested to see how it looks like a year or two from now. His teammate Trayvon Clark, who that's what people really know more on the Team Griffin group, USA basketball. He's one of the better players in the class, and I think in the country in 226. About 6'6", can shoot it, put the ball on the floor like a big wing. And Trayvon, I saw some more toughness out of him. Saw him really rebound well for his position in the game I got to watch. I saw him run the floor. I saw him bring the ball up, and everything looked smooth and comfortable, playing through contact better. Like see those progressions. I think him playing against high level comp like USA basketball, and then playing for a coach like he does at Wagner, I think he's starting to really kind of get it. I thought toughness and playing through contact was a real weakness, and I still think it's something that he can grow in. But I think I've seen some real considerable growth. Which is a good thing. Next, we got Brandon Bass Jr. for Florida Rebels. Is the son of Brandon Bass, who played for the Mavs, played in the NBA for a good bit. Lefty, can really shoot the basketball. Saw some high quality shooting. Plays hard, just like his dad. And I saw him just get a lot of things done. I'm really impressed with Brandon Bass Jr. And Johnny Bull for PSA. Another big, just athletic, plays hard, was altering shots at the rim, just was really getting after it. Was really very impressed with how his game was. 7 Spurlock, a lefty, another kid that's been to USA basketball along with Trent Perry as well. Pro skills lefty, about 6'5", 6'6". He's a guard, great passer, really good in the open floor. He's always just willing to pass. Sometimes I wish he was more aggressive and as far as a score or just getting downhill more, which he's very capable of doing. But I like his unselfishness. I like how he competes like on the glass, on defense, even when the scoring's not there. But I think there's so much more to the scoring that he hasn't really shown. And that's why, I'm just impressed with someone at his size and his skill set and just has such a willingness to pass. He's more of a pass-first guy than he is a scorer. Anthony Spencer, pro skills, goes to Faye family, big time shooter. Not shooter, I'm sorry. Big time the defender, shot blocker, dunker, just really gets after it on the glass and just plays above the rim, big time athlete. He's with a really good coach at BT with Faye family. And I think he I just really liked how he was a good addition for them because they needed a big that Pro Skills 15. So I thought he did a good job just really protecting the paint and being a presence inside with his scoring and his shot blocking. And I saw him do some crafty things like go for a block and have the other hand steal the pass in case the opposing guard, has second guess if he wants to put the shot up. I saw some good things protecting the rim that, you normally don't see from guys that young. So there we go. We got 15U. I'm gonna get onto the 16U right now, so just bear with me, guys. I'm kind of working this. Brian Byrne gave me a crash test on how to share the photos, do this stuff on StreamYard. So just kind of bear with me, guys. But now 16U Division was I really watched a lot. I thought it was some really quality basketball, and I think that. Looking at guys like for that Drive Nation group and some others, in JL3, we're going to start it out with Sebastian Williams Adams. Thought he played fantastic. One of the best players in his class, about 6'6", 6'7", active, block shots, rebounded, impacted winning. Didn't need to score the ball, but can put the ball on the floor and get by guys. I saw him really be a mismatch. People say he's a wing, he's a forward, like wing forward, whatever he is, he's a basketball player. I thought he just knew how to be a problem on either end. The shooting is coming along fairly well. I think he really competes on the defense end, showing that he can switch and guard and hold his own. I saw him rebound in traffic, could still get stronger, can still be stronger. But, man, I was impressed just with his motor and his just versatility. You hear me say versatility a lot last week. You're gonna hear me say it again. And Sebastian Williams-Adams has that. Sheldon Henderson was someone that I got to really just lock into and watch this session. Goes to Bel Air, I believe. Big guard. Fantastic passer for someone his age. I heard that, he's kind of changing into like position. Like he used to be just like more like a 4. Now he's being a guard, but like you can tell the passing's always been there. He makes some real like cross court passes, no look passes, just know how to move the ball. And he's a bully guard. Like he could just embrace contact, takes it, finishes through it. I really like him. The shooting's going to come along. I think he can attack both ways and finish. Defensively, he's tough because he can just get physical and he can disrupt the opposing team's point of attack. Next, we got Maker from Arizona Unity. Liked him a lot. Protect the rim, averaged about 2.8 blocks, I think, so far in the EYBL. He's second to Cooper Flagg, who we have on here for 225 in E16s. And, man, just mobile, agile. Can run the floor well, finish above the rim, uses his length to block shots and alter it. He has some face-up ability and can score. Maker, he gets a lot done. And interested to see kind of how he grows. Cash Polk, man, people haven't really been talking a whole lot about him. He's averaging damn near a double-double. He's rebounding crazy on the offensive glass, defensive glass. He's really hunting for rebounds. He shows he can face up and score. He can shoot it. He can bring the ball up the floor. Versatility. He has that. And I think he doesn't get talked a lot about in 225. He can get a little overshadowed, but you can't take away his production. And I really like guys that rebound, and he's rebounding. Sometimes he's guarding guys way bigger, stronger than him, and he just fighting. And I like that offensively. He can score inside and out as well. So someone to definitely keep tabs up in that 225 class. Next, we got Caden Edwards. Again, just someone that really blown up this spring. Played a role at Duncanville as more of like a specialist, like a shooter, and really loving playing defense. Talked to David Peavy, who's the head coach at Duncanville, about him. Just loving defense, and that's just a product of the place that he goes to high school for. He's understanding how to play on the ball and be a quality decision maker. I thought that was something that was a big question mark for me from him, for me about him, and I think he's just really he's crushing it. He's someone that can be your secondary, even your primary ball handler, and be comfortable with this. So, and using his right hand more. So, Caden Edwards, he's been one of the best players performance-wise in 225 in the state of Texas. Then we got Chris Sinak Jr. from Live On, another kid that like a borderline double-double guy. He's active, faces up, can score, can shoot, drive-by guys, finish above the rim. Another kid for Live On, and from that Louisiana group that's strong at 225. You got Jermaine O'Neal Jr. for Drive Nation, really shooting the basketball well, athletic. He's gotten stronger. He's doing a really good job, just putting strength and putting weight on his frame, and it's really helping, especially guarding. When he has to switch and guard post, and now he's able to bump guys on defense and then cause them, and misdirect them and all those things. I'm really impressed with Jermaine O'Neal and just his shooting. His catch and shoot, his pull-up game's improved. Someone to really keep tabs of. I say keep tabs, but, Jermaine O'Neal Jr., I know he's son of Jermaine O'Neal, but, I talked to him in some past interviews, and he's his own name. He's his own name. That's Jermaine O'Neal Jr. He's doing a really good job, and he's becoming a high major level prospect. Now we got Jaden Toombs, his teammate, not just summer ball, but in the Scholastic at a dynamic prep. Jaden about 6'9", has good length, skilled, can finish with either hand, soft touch, can shoot the mid-range, just real twitchy with his hands and just active. You don't think he's going to get that blocker. You don't think he's going to get that rebound. He just tips it to himself. Good pass on the post. It's hard to double team him because he makes the right read. Jaden was fantastic this weekend. Jameer Jones from Florida Rebels, athletic, explosive wing. He just got a lot done. Jameer Jones was impressive. Saw him against JL3 and was a big part of them winning that game. Saw him the rest of that weekend. I like Jameer Jones a lot. Cooper Flagg, nothing to talk about really. Again, just big time explosive performances, leads the E16s with over 4 blocks a game. I can only imagine what he's averaging scoring. I didn't really look at it. I saw him play that Man United group's not, I wouldn't say just completely like a loaded group by any means, but Cooper's really holding his own, and not even just way more than holding his own. He is just being so dynamic and fantastic, and he's leading them to wins that people wouldn't think they could get. And I also, I think his brother Ace Flag's been doing a really good job as well. A slasher, someone that can just rebound, plays hard. The Flag brothers, I know people talk about Cooper. Ace is also a Division I prospect. Cameron Boozer, he finalizes his list for Night Riders. Again, just someone that's just a man amongst boys in that 16U division. Can shoot from 3. Really good feel. When he puts on the ball on the deck, you're not ripping him. He has a good fluid handle. He can finish inside. He finishes through contact with ease. Just man amongst boys. As Cameron Boozer, his brother Caden Boozer. Again, that's another kid I think he's a high major guard. I like, he's strong. He's gotten stronger. Shooting's gotten better. And just his overall feel and learning how to balance. He's made some – I don't know how many assists he averaged, but I can only imagine how many hockey assists he has. He just really just makes the right play, and he really just gets the table, set for his team. Other guys that really impressed me, like Amir Taylor for Georgia Stars. I thought he was impressive. I got to see him in their game against Team Mello, a big wing that shot the ball well, played above the rim, was very active. Kyan Anthony, Carmelo Anthony's son for Team Mello, was really good. He didn't make shots, but it looked the part. I thought he was just, can shoot, can create. I know when I saw him with Christ the King, it was more spot-up shooting, but now I see him really handle the ball, really create space, get into the mid-range game. I thought Kyan Anthony, even though he didn't make shots, I thought he was very impressive. Another kid like Pro Skills, I thought Hudson Greer was very solid, very active, slashing wing that just really competes on both ends and makes an impact on both ends as well. So that's my and then another thing like JL3, Nigel Walls, another big, he was really good on Friday. Didn't do great the game I saw on Saturday, but he's a kid that just keeps coming along, can face up and shoot, tall, young. I mean, I think he's still 15 years old. So it's really incredible just seeing a kid that young. And it kind of answers why he makes some young mistakes. Or there's some immaturities about him, but he's going to be really good. I mean, long term, there's not very many in his class that have as high of an upside as he does. So that fight, and Patton Pinkins as well, Coach Pinkins' son, very good guard, long, can shoot the basketball, step back threes, hezzies, hang dribbles. He got all that. So that's another kid that really impressed me. That's my 16U. And then we're going to get going on to the 17U, and so let me get to that. And that has more of a less Texas guys, more of a national guys from other places. So we're going to get to that real quick. All right, so now we got 17U. Dylan Harper, people have him top 3 in his class. He's really making an argument of being number 1. Ace Bailey, Trey Johnson for Houston Hoops kind of in that mix. But I think Dylan Harper is really making a case of being number 1 in that class. Son of Ron Harper, brothers Ron Harper Jr. So strong basketball bloodlines there. Was very fantastic. Average over 20 points a game. Really just can get to the basket and finish. Really balances playmaking and scoring. Thought he was very impressive. Elliot Cadeau. It just seemed too easy with him. I talked about this in my Balls Life podcast with Ronnie Flores. That's in the paint with Ronnie Flores and Chelsea Hopkins. But Elliot, again, just his pace he plays, his IQ, everything, it's just it's off the charts. And he just knows what play to make every time he has the ball. Just effortless. It's just really effortless. It's like he's ready to go to college right now. Honestly, like that's how it looked watching Elliot play basketball. Just a little too easy. Next, we got his backcourt teammate for that New Heights Lightning. That's Taha Pettiford, another guard, scores it. Tough, Really like Tahad. Him and Cadeau in the backcourt is just deadly. Another one, we got Billy Richmond, who's really seen his stock soar for New Jersey Scholars. Physical, athletic wing, defends his butt off. I know the circuit had him as a defensive player for the session, but I just liked how he just got downhill, had athletic finishes, just was fearless going towards the rim. AJ Debonsa, I may be saying his last name wrong, but AJ, a 226. I told you I was going to talk about some 226s playing up. Man, Rafael Barlow said it best. He said, man, that 227 NBA draft class, it's hard to, that's ways away. But AJ right now, a very, very early look would be number one. And he's number one player in his class, 6'8", 6'9", guard skills. I mean, they kind of play him as more like sometimes it's like a tertiary, secondary, sometimes primary ball handler. But man, he's really good. Can score the basketball, can play make, good passer. Just it's easy. Like there's no real. It doesn't seem like there was a crazy adjustment with with playing 17U. It just seemed like, okay, I'm just seamlessly get in, and this is nothing for me. The physicality ain't nothing. The speed ain't nothing. It's just he's used to it. So whoever's been working with him, whoever's been not just on the game, but just his mindset. I mean, done a hell of a job. Next, we got Darius Acuff for the family at Detroit. So another person that's really blown up in the spring, especially in Atlanta EYBL, can really shoot the basketball, shoot with range. He's tough. He's a 225 kid playing in 17s, and I think he's averaging a little over 20 points per game. So Darius Acuff, really seeing his stock grow in that 225 class. I'll be interested to see where he is ranked nationally. Carter Knox for the Rebels, another one, just strong, good size wing, score the basketball, saw him rebound it well, saw him show his versatility on defense and guard multiple spots. I thought Liam McNeely also for Florida Rebels was really good. Just another kid, just another wing that can shoot the basketball, doesn't have huge holes in their game. So like Carter Knox and Liam, I mean, that's just a really tough, just another tough duo right there with Jaden Williams as well being out there. David Punch, Drive Nation went 3-1 this session. Shout out to Coach Mitch, who's doing a really good job with that group. I ain't gonna lie, when I saw that roster when they played at the circuit on Easter weekend, I thought, man, this team's gonna be really bad in the EYBL. I'm gonna say it first. I said it, but they've really proven me wrong. They ain't had to prove me wrong. I mean, who am I? But I think that Drive Nation's done. Coach Mitch and that group done a good job, and David Punch has been the lead on that. 6'7", long arms, big hands, shoots the ball well, especially as a spot up and trail guy, even pick and pop guy. Alter shots at the rim because of his length. He's not like a crazy athlete vertically, but he's a good enough athlete. I think wherever he goes, again, he's someone that if he goes to the right system, in a year or two, we'll see him in the transfer portal going high major, because I think he's probably going to go more mid-major. He's going to be more of a mid-major kid. I think he can play high major. That's just me personally. I just think it's all about do you value what he brings to the table. So, David Punch, and that's my Drive Nation spiel. Ahmad Noel, team final, another guard. Tough, physical, can get downhill, can shoot the basketball. Ahmad, I like his toughness. I like guys like him that are just tough, defends, really can guard 94 feet and just put pressure on opposing guards. And some of the stuff that he just does that may not go on the stat sheet, but it just impacts winning from the guard spot. Trent Sisley, another kid from Indy Heat Gym Rats, just a mismatch forward, did a really good job. She's just a hard cover. And then speaking of hard covers, Boogie Flan, who led PSA Cardinals to a 4-0 record this session. So really, really talented group of guys. I mean, if I kind of had to, throw maybe a few names, I think the addition of Jalen Washington for Drive Nation is good. You got my man that's from Belton High School, Trap Johnson. He's another kid that I thought has done some really good work. K. Anner Boateng, who goes with Team Griffin. Team Griffin didn't have a good session. They went 1-3, but he averaged over 20 points per game. He's a really strong addition, a big physical, strong wing that's athletic as crap, just explosive around the rim, and he's seen some real improvements with his shooting. So that's what I have there. for that. So now we're going to get to bus event. So I went Saturday night. I went to the 9 p.m. games. Then I went to the 8 a.m. and 9:05 games. So now I'm going to bring up some names that I just saw on there. So there's going to be names like, hey, Ani, like who, like this kid didn't make the list and yada, 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 but he was doing X, Y, and Z. So trust me, I didn't get to watch him. So I'm not going to go out here and talk about kids that I did not watch. I'm not one of those evaluators. All right. So give me a little bit. I'm about to pull up who wants to smoke. So here's some of my standouts from here. Again, this is 3-4 hours. This is who I watched. So do not say, oh, you didn't see this kid. This is who I watched. Isaiah Harwell, Utah prospects. I mean, he's gotten a lot better. He was really good last year, and he's gotten a lot better. It's hard to say. Is there 5 players better than him in that class? I mean, that would be a really good discussion. Just from what I saw that morning game, and they say he was killing it even before. Be interested to see. Like honestly, in that class, he played like a top 5 to 10 player in the country. So I was really, really impressed with that. King Grace, Texas Impact score, been doing great in the UA circuit. Had 32 points when I saw him against Houston Hoops 17U at the circuit a while back in April and Easter weekend. Just this guy that just wired to score the basketball. Decision making needs to get better, but I think that'll come in due time. Another kid that's just really growing on me, David Aweezy with Texas Impact, big fella. Runs the floor well, long arms. Alter shots around the rim, can grab a rebound, ignite breaks. Shooting's there. He made free throws, look clean when he shot free throws. I think there's some real upside with his shooting. So, and David Weezy still has some ways to go, but I was intrigued by him. Austin Centers, a kid for Crab 5 to 16U, got to see them on the third court, and he played really well. The team was down damn near 20, and he came back, made some plays in the open court. Made open threes. His ball handling's gotten better. Was someone that was more of a 4-man that I think Jay Walk's done a good job, playing him as a guard and, living with his mistakes and, but he's still able to show his inside game while he's also growing his outside. Jace Butler, another kid for Jalen Green Elite, did a really good job with their comeback. They almost beat Texas Impact at 9 p.m. game. They were down 15 with 4 minutes to go. Jace Butler plays a big role just as a guard that can score the basketball. Saw some real extended 3-point range shooting. And, man, I liked him a lot. Just from some bits I saw him, I thought he was really good. And I was just impressed. And he kept fighting. They kept fighting and actually got it within a 1-possession game against Texas Impact. Dorian Hayes, this was a Sunday morning. A kid that was, like a son to Chuck Hayes, shoots the lights out the ball. Hard closeouts, just rises up, shoots over length. Yeah, I think he made like 5 threes, and we were still like a couple minutes left in the second half. Man, just really effective, really impactful. He can really defend on ball as well when he wants to. There's he's another 225 people don't really talk a whole lot about, but man, if the shooting's like that and he's long, he looks like he's still growing, man. I mean, he's someone that you can really see, in that upper echelon and maybe in that top 5 to 10 when it's all said and done. You just never know, but he's one of those kids that he's going to blow up later. Like his best basketball's ahead of him. Jet McCaslin, son of Grant McCaslin, who's at Texas Tech. Jet shoots the piss out of it. I mean, has the quickest trigger in that class or just in the state of Texas as far as shooting. Saw some really nice work, like coming off ball screens and shooting, being patient. Was more of a spot-up guy from I seen him in the past, but now I'm seeing him more on the ball. And, playing for a great program with Sean Ward, anchoring that ship. So next we got Cam Paul for ISO Joe, another kid, big wing, likes to get to the rim, finishes strong, rebounds, just does all the little things. I like guys that are versatile, does the little things. He doesn't have to score to impact winning, and I think that's very important. And then the last one on this list, Chris Mason from Tulsa Hawks, kid that from the Oklahoma area, kind of your mismatch forward, broad frame, strong, finishes with either hand, can shoot his some. I thought he was very impressive. I liked him a lot. His recruitment's really picked up as well. So, shout out to Buff. This was just some of the guys I got to watch. I wish I watched more. I heard about Nick Cody and heard about Shauna Bev from SOH. Diallo as well. So I didn't really get to watch those guys heavy. So I couldn't really talk about them now. I'd seen them play, especially in Adidas, and haven't got to see the Bev play because I haven't gone to UA yet. But there's some of my standouts from what I saw at Buffs for the 3-4 hours. So guys, please don't say, oh, I didn't, why this kid or why the kid didn't make it. All right. So yeah, those are my standouts. We're at 30 minutes, guys. So next, I'm going to talk a little bit of recruiting and I'm going to get y'all out of here. T-John Brown, we did his commitment. He's going to go to McNeese State. He chose them over Texas A&M Corpus Christi and also Oakland. So T-John, just a speedy attacking guard, plays just tough as nails, can guard 94 feet. I think he's someone that kind of matches what Will Wade wants in his guards. And, he's part of a really strong class that Will has coming in. It was kind of a tough decision for him, over, quality programs like Texas A&M Corpus Christi, who just made the NCAA tournament, Oakland, that does a real fine job with their players as far as development. And T-John, congrats, won a state title, really has grown up over the years, and he's heading towards the right direction. Some other notes. Obviously, we've seen some guys that kind of enter the draft or hit the portal. But hitting the portal, trying to see what it's looking like Julian Phillips. He entered the portal. Speaking of Texas A&M Corpus Christi guys like Jordan Granberry hit the portal. You're listening. You're seeing what some other guys are going to do depending on what they do with the draft. Like Arthur Kaluma. I heard he may potentially be hitting the portal if he has. There's going to be guys that are in this draft process right now that we'll see, what they're going to do next. Are they going to come back like maybe Emmanuel Miller or it's just going to be real interesting. I think we're going to hit another wave in about of guys, obviously poor close, but the guys at the draft, they can decide that they're going to come back or where they're going to go or if they're going to stay in the draft, right? So the guys that are hit the portal but are still going through the draft process, what that recruitment is going to look like or where they go. I think we're just, man, I think this stuff doesn't slow down till about June, till about early to mid June, guys. So, a lot of stuff going on in the recruitment world. Just crazy. It's crazy. I'm getting ready for the NBA draft. I'm getting ready for TABC and, traveling just gets crazier and crazier, guys. And, shout out to the guys that, projected to get drafted, like Anthony Black. I heard he was fantastic in the interviews. Keontae George, Jordan Walsh, who's another kid, does he come back or not? He's got to see what awaits him for what's coming out, like Isaiah Stevens. What does he do there? But yeah, shout out to guys like Keontae, Cason Wallace, Anthony Black. You guys like Jordan Walsh had a chance to get drafted. These Texas guys, it's hard to really make it at that level, and just that pre-draft process is a beast as well. Just the interviews, some questions they ask. They already talked to the janitor, your preschool teacher, your mom, dad, maybe, or someone close to your mom or dad. They're asking a whole lot of questions. People are asking questions, and NBA teams are asking whoever that may be close to you. So I know they're getting bombarded with questions. They're getting bombarded with the same questions, right? And they're just trying to see how they answer it. They answer it the same or not. So, shout out to those guys, going through this process. Shout out to the agents. I know this is the toughest time of the year. NBA, I know this is a really hard time, a really long time for those guys as well. It doesn't get easier till after summer league. So, guys, that's kind of it. Just gave you a little quick view on what's to come, what's going on in recruitment. And next week, I think we're going to see some guys, declaring that staying in the draft, staying in the draft or coming back. And I think we're going to see a new wave of recruitment coming up. So this is All Access with ISO Ani. Again, appreciate you guys listening. Subscribe to us at Texas Ranked on YouTube, at Ani ISO_Ani. And those are my standouts. And that's just a little bit of what's going on and what's coming up. So